Heroes and Villains, Rena's Titan, Part 1. Chapter 15. Cathedral of the Blessed Mary, Basement Bathroom, 10 years ago. "Hello," said someone from outside of the bathroom stall. "Are you okay?" Rena wiped away a snot bubble and nodded. "Yeah," she said. "I'm fine." Rena looked at her phone, which was ringing again. She pushed it to send the call to voicemail, replacing the call with the notice that she had 6 missed calls. The first 2 had been from the school. The last 4 had been from her mother. Rena was going to have hell to pay, so it seemed only fitting to hide in a cathedral bathroom. "What's your name?" asked the woman standing outside the stall. Rena didn't answer. "Do you need some help? Something to eat, maybe?" Rena's stomach screamed at the idea of food. She flushed the toilet and wiped her face as best she could, then opened the stall door. The woman outside the door was dressed in a black inner robe, with a black scarf tied over her head. "Hello, my child," she said. "I'm Sister Alice." "Rena," she said. "Are you without a home?" No, It's complicated." "Well, I was about to have some lunch. Why don't you come up with me and we can talk about it?" Rena nodded. The 2 walked through the bathroom. On the walls beside them, mirrors hung over a row of sinks. Rena looked at herself and was frightened by the grimace of hate and anger looking back at her. Though she could feel that she was not making that face, she knew who was. It was the voice. Chapter 16. Cathedral of the Blessed Mary, Clergy House, 10 years ago. Rena ate 4 lean cuisines that were in the cathedral's freezer. Alice just had some tea and a sandwich, and watched the muesli as Rena ate. While they ate, Rena's phone went off 10 more times. Each time, Rena silenced it. But Alice saw at least once the name Mom on the caller ID. "Don't you think you should call her back?" asked Alice. "I don't want to," said Rena. "Why not? She's your mother. I'm sure she's worried." "I know she is," said Rena. "But she wouldn't understand. Not even the doctor understood." "Doctor?" asked Alice. Rena scooted her leg out from under the kitchen table where the 2 ate and pulled her pant leg up. Alice looked at it but didn't react. She had seen much worse. God challenges us all. The challenge isn't always easy, and it's never the same for each person. "You have no idea," said Rena. "When I was a little girl, growing up in Europe, there was only one thing I wanted in life." "To be a nun?" asked Rena. "To be a dancer," said Alice. "Becoming a nun was my second choice. I didn't have the balance or the upbringing for my parents to afford lessons. But I knew that if I gave myself to the Lord, through Him all things would become possible. Perhaps I'd never dance for the Ballet de l'Opéra National de Paris, but I felt that God was fair in all things and that He would help me achieve that which my heart desired the most." "So is this the part where you tell me that God helped you dance and everyone lived happily ever after?" "When I joined the Sisters of St. Francis, they had a dance company that would put on shows for the community. Nothing too fancy, small shows to raise charity. I was a rising star of the dance company and attracted the attention of the young priest who was in charge of our order. He was very handsome and very fundamental in his teachings, making him popular and influential. One of the cornerstones of his teachings was a very strict policy about the emergence of God's newly special people. He felt that they were an abnormality from God's light and that while they should not be denied from attending Mass, those who openly practice their abilities should be denied Holy Communion and shouldn't be allowed to serve in God's church. I kept my abilities hidden as long as I could, but one day there was a fire in the rectory. A group of altar boys were playing with the candles and were trapped by the flames. I knew that it would be a greater sin not to act, so I did what I felt God would have wanted me to do. Sister Alice held her hand to Rena's iced tea, and slowly ice crystals formed until it was completely frozen over. Rena started at the ice, then looked over at Sister Alice, who looked distant and lost in memory. "What happened?" asked Rena. The priest asked for my resignation. The bishop took pity on me and transferred me here instead. I've been here ever since. God challenges us all, Rena. The challenge isn't always easy, and it's never the same for each person.